How we doing, guys? Moose here, episode 38 of our West Ham United career mode, and we are back at the beautiful Bowling ground to take on Liverpool. Obviously, if this was real life, this would be the last time we'd ever play Liverpool at Upton Park at the Bowling, because after what is the second season here in career mode, which would be next season in real life, West Ham will be moving to the Olympic Stadium, which we obviously won't be able to do in this career because of the way it's set up. You can't just switch stadiums 2 years in, or I would actually, try to move to a stadium that looks like the Olympic Stadium. But as it is, I love playing at the Bowling. It's beautiful to see all the West Ham insignia, see the crowd, the actual stadium that West Ham uses. Beautiful. It's a feature. It's probably one of the best things about career mode this year is having all the BPL signage and everything like that. It's fantastic. Really helps with the immersion in the career mode, makes it a lot of fun, and it's really something I'm enjoying. But we come into a tough game with Liverpool. We're playing our first choice team. Liverpool playing some really quality players. You can see Lavetzi's actually on the bench because he's injured. He's coming back from injury. He's just returned from a pulled groin, I think is what it is. But we come away on the attack very early. Downing, after a beautiful little counter-attacking move, finds Andy Carroll with the ball. He turns his defender, makes plenty of space for himself, and slides it under Mignolet and sends the crowd into absolute raptures. Look at the scenes there behind Carroll and Downing as they celebrate that goal. What a turn from Carroll. He shows so much touch on the ball. He's just in scintillating form right now. And that's a wonderful goal. He shows he's not just a big lump up front. He's got the technical ability. How many goals has he scored on the ground this year? Let alone with his head. That's absolutely fantastic to see him get on the score sheet. And it's the perfect start for West Ham United. Absolutely wonderful way for us to start the game here. And it shows that we do have the quality to possibly nick points from Liverpool here. Obviously, we weren't able to beat them at home last year either. It finished in a 2-2 draw after we threw away what was a 2-0 lead. So hopefully we'll be able to hold on to it this time, but we shall see. Liverpool coming out, they have some very good attacking options. Obviously, Barini partnering with Balotelli up front. That looks like a sure goal, but Barini puts it inches wide, thankfully for us. They have Sturridge on the bench. I can't believe Barini got the start over Sturridge. I think Sturridge, actually, if I remember reading the news and headlines and such between games, I think he's also coming off an injury. But their big signing was Lavetzi from PSG, who they signed for, I think, £10 million. Pretty good signing for them, and he's come in, but he will be on the bench coming back from that injury, as is Sturridge, but they will both come into the game later and play key roles, so we'll see what kind of impact they can make. We try and come forward on another beautiful counterattack here. Fabian Duff with lovely skills. He then plays the ball to the outside of his left foot to Oxlade-Chamberlain, uses his skill, comes forward, just smashes a shot with tons of power, you can see there, but it's straight at Mignolet, and he's able to keep it out and leave the advantage at 1-0 to West Ham United. Balotelli, moments afterwards, equalizes with a wonderful header here. It's a great ball played in by Coutinho, who really was the danger man for Liverpool in this game. He was all over the pitch. They had him in that central attacking midfield position, and he was just all over the place, making runs out wide, making runs through the middle. It's a perfect ball in to Balotelli, who somehow gets a free header there. We had been pulled out of position. If you go back and watch it back, we had been pulled out of position because we had gotten beat. Jenkinson was beat, caused our center back to come over, and Kulu was forced to come over, and it left Balotelli and Creswell with a bit of space in between each other. And Balotelli is simply not going to miss from there with the ability he has. He might, in real life, to be honest, he might miss that the way he's played for Liverpool in actual real-life football, but for us, he's not going to miss there. Coutinho, like I said, a danger man, another really good chance. And this game was a story of two halves, to be honest. You saw in the first half, we created a ton of chances. Carroll had some chances, Oxlade-Chamberlain. But the second half, it is just one-way traffic. Liverpool coming down constantly. You can see Emre Can starting an option here. He plays the ball into Lavetzi, that man I mentioned beforehand. But a wonderful block from Nkulu, and that's what we really had to look at those last two chances. Rina and Nkulu both with fantastic blocks. Kevin Nolan comes on as a substitute, and a great ball played in, then he nearly is able to get on the end of and put in the back of the net, but it was a good defensive clearance by Liverpool. Late on, Sturridge playing a 1-2 with Jordan Henderson. Henderson eventually smashes the ball off the right post behind Adrian. Luckily for us, he's not able to find the back, and that was a huge chance. And Liverpool showing their quality late on. 90th minute, though, we try and create a couple of chances. Chiate on a corner gets a good header. Mignolet with another simple save. He hasn't had too much to trouble him here, especially in the second half. But he clears the ball away only as far as Nkulu, heads it forward. Andy Carroll's able to get his noggin on it and play it out wide to Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. He creates some skill with his pace. Wonderful ability there out on the wing. Great little fake shot. Turns aside a couple of defenders with unbelievable control. And then he has two chances here on the doorstep. Mignolet with an absolute stupendous save at his near post. And then Oxlade-Chamberlain went for the rebound and smashed it off the outside of the post from literally on the goal line. Final chance here is Jenkinson trying to skid a shot through a bunch of traffic, but the daisy cutter just goes inches wide of the post, and that would be all she wrote. That was the last kick of the game. Referee blows the full-time whistle, and we finish with a 1-1 draw. So obviously, disappointing at home to get a draw. Obviously, we pretty much want to win every game we have at home. I think we have the quality to be able to do that. But Liverpool are, very decent side, and like I said, they had plenty of chances. They actually outshot us 8 shots on target to our 6. We outpossessed them a bit. But honestly, I think a draw is a pretty fair result, and we could consider ourselves fortunate late on to actually finish with a draw. And the Moose's 3 hammers of the game. Aaron Cresswell gets 1 point. Adrian, who played fantastic, he had some wonderful saves. Blinder save on Coutinho with 2, and Oxlade-Chamberlain was fantastic on the wing for me personally, and he gets the 3 stars of the game. So we then get take a look at that. Ravel Morrison and Connor Wickham called up to the England team. They can't even get into our squad. How is Andy Carroll, Stuart Downing, Oxlade-Chamberlain, how are they not being called up to the England team? They're 3 of our top players, our best attackers. They're not getting called up, but Morrison and Wickham are. Interesting, to say the least, by Roy Hodgson. We then get note that I decided to come in here and offer some contracts because we have some players coming up to the end of their contract, and I don't want to take the chance of getting into that pre-contract section and losing someone, especially when the 2 main guys we have there are Adrian, had just 9 months left on his contract, as does Mark Noble. We're running low on funds right now. That's why I'm not able to offer a contract to Noble at this moment in time. But Adrian does accept his extension. I offered him 2 additional years. And then Andy Carroll comes in. He's been scoring goals for absolute fun lately. And he comes in and says, you know what, boss? I want a wage increase as well. And it's tough right now because I have to pretty much decide. Do I want to offer Andy Carroll contract extension? I have about 15 grand in wage budget right now until we hit the end of the Europa League group stages, which whether I advance out of the group or if I fail to get out of the group, I'll get a certain amount of funds either way. If I get out of the group, it'd be like £1.5 or £2 million, I think, which I'll pretty much convert that straight to wage budgets to use for things like pre-contract signings, but also players like Andy Carroll, Noble, who come in with contract issues or need their contracts renewed. But that's the main issue I have right now. Is I only have 15 grand in funds. Carroll's on 50K a week right now, so I know he wants an increase to 60K. Noble's on, I think, 30K a week. He wants an increase to 40K. So if I do re-sign one of them, I have to get one or the other. Honestly, I'll probably go with Carroll before we hit the transfer window. Carroll, you can see another great chance. He's so good. He's absolutely unbelievable and scintillating form right now. Stupendous play from Carroll. Downing, of course, playing really well as well in that cam position. He has a chance here after he tries to flip one back to Carroll off a lovely run. It falls back to him and he gets a shot block. But I'm going to probably decide to go with Carroll in the next episode or 2, contract-wise, because honestly, I don't want him to go on the transfer market to say to us, hey, you haven't done anything about my contract extension. If I don't get a pay raise, I want to leave, because he is our top goal scorer right now. I can't afford to lose him at this moment in time with the way he's playing. Also, I'm less worried about Noble wanting to sign a pre-contract with someone else. He's been with West Ham for his entire career, and he's a fantastic Premier League player. He's played really well for us, but he's not necessarily a player that a wonder team's going to come in and try and snap up. So I think we're a little bit safer with him staying with the club. Plus, if I do get that windfall of Europa League money, I'm pretty sure that would come in at the end of December, right before we get to the pre-contract section. So we should be okay with him. That's a fantastic chance for Aston Villa right there. If you took a look at what was I doing with James Tompkins? Absolutely abysmal defending by me. If they would have scored, it would have been well-deserved, and I would have taken that on the chin. But Adrian saves my bacon with a wonderful save. And then at the other end, we get a break. Downing coming forward with Carroll, almost a 2-on-0. Plays it across to Carroll, looking for the little sweaty, easy goal. And Carroll was stopped. Sacco then played through with a wonder ball from Ravel Morrison, and Sacco cannot score. He physically cannot score. He's not allowed. There's a force field up in front of the goal, and it's blocking Sacco out. And Sacco would have had another chance here, but the referee doesn't play advantage. He brings the play back and gives us a free kick, which then Downing has the ability, but he steps up and smashes it right at Aston Villa's keeper. They're actually playing their backup keeper in this game, not Brad Guzan. He's on the bench. So luckily for us, we do get to contend with that. We haven't been able to find a breakthrough. Aston Villa then play in a corner, and this is where they look very, very dangerous. Was from set pieces, from corners. Huge chance there for Sanchez. He's unable to score on. Another corner then from Nzogbia. Bent gets his head on it, floats toward goal, but thankfully we have Fabian Delph on the line to clear things up because Aston Villa looked very dangerous from set pieces. Balls whipped into the box. That was the issue where we really had a tough time coping with them. Another chance here as Gardner comes in. He floats it in looking for Ashley Westwood, and his header goes just over the bar. So another really good chance. Our turn from a set piece now. Stuart Downing floats the ball in. We don't get anything on the ball. It's flicked away as far as Darren Bent, but a little bit of poor control from Benteke allows Tompkins to get on the ball. He just floats out wide out Downing, who's the only real chance he has is to float in it. Looks for Carroll to go wide. No, it's in the top corner. Andy Carroll with another goal. They can't keep him out of the back of the net. He has absolute golden shoes and a golden head right now. He just puts everything in the back of the net. Every time the ball comes to him, he finds pay dirt. It's an absolute wonder goal of a finish. What a header that is. He leaps like a salmon and just gets all the power in his neck muscles into that ball and fires it right in the top corner. It's an absolute wonder goal. It's in the side netting, for crying out loud, from that angle. It's unbelievable, and a huge goal from Andy Carroll to give us another lead. He's done it yet again with a fantastically clutch goal. This time after giving us the first goal against Liverpool, he gives us the first goal against Aston Villa, but it's very late on, and from here we just want to hang on. Villa with a wonderful chance, though, just after Carroll's goal. That was literally straight from kickoff, and Adrian straight onto it with great hands to palm it away from goal and get it out of danger and make a great save. Downing in the 81st minute, coming through with another chance. Downing, I'll tell you what, just like last year, he is the absolute straw that stirs the drink. And it's a shame that he's 31 years old in game and what have you, because I would love to keep him around for 5-6 more years if I could. Oxlade-Chamberlain then with a fantastic chance that he should have put the game away with, but he's not able to. Aston Villa then in the 90th minute trying to come forward, and then Kulu here just tries to hold Benteke off from the ball. And what is this nonsense? The referee with a straight red card. I can't even believe it. How is he given a straight red for that? It's unbelievable. You take a look at the replay, and Kulu, he almost falls over. I mean, he bodies Benteke a little bit, and he kind of went in for the ball, but he doesn't even make contact with the big striker. Benteke doesn't go down at all, and the referee gives a red card to Nkulu. I can't believe it. It's a horrible call, so we do go down to 10 men, but thankfully it was so late on in the game that it doesn't affect us. You look at my lineup at the end here. I actually moved Carroll back to center back to try and help prevent us from losing here, but it's a well-deserved victory. Fantastic for us, and 3 points that we really needed to stay in the hunt in the Premier League here in the early going. We'll finish out here with the Moose's Mighty Hammers. Like I said, Adrian, another point for him because he played wonderful, kept a clean sheet for us. Downing picks up 2, and in his return to Aston Villa, Fabian Delph gets the 3 points for me. Because really, when Delph came on at halftime, it changed the real complexion of the game, and we just started dominating and eventually were able to pick up the 3 points. But like I said, we are seeing a return of a feature that I used to use in career mode a while back, mostly in FIFA 14. I'm not sure if I actually did have it for a couple of the episodes here in the FIFA 15 career mode, but it's back. It's going to create storylines because really that's the main thing I want to do with this career mode. I want to keep it interesting. That's the main thing. When you're following a football team in real life, obviously this isn't a real life football team, but when you're following a team in real life, you want to see a storyline. You don't just follow the games and watch games and then go from week to week, Saturday to Saturday. You follow along with the team. You follow Twitter accounts. You follow things like that to get all your info about the team and see different stuff that's going on in terms of rumors, stats, all kind of things, and that's what I want to bring into this career mode because I think it is really enjoyable to see, and I hope that's what you guys want to see as well. I hope you enjoy it because it'll help generate some conversation and comments among you guys as well. So the first story we have for you, singing Carroll's praises. Christmas has come 2 months early for the big striker as he's received a new pair of shooting boots that are chock full of goals. He now has scored in 3 of the past 4 Premier League matches, has 4 goals total in the league, and 6 goals in all competitions. And with that return, he's forced his way back into the manager's first choice 11. You have to give him all the credit in the world, Moose said of his big number 9. He found himself on the outside last campaign, and he's persevered and kept working, and it's paid off. Hopefully he can keep this form up because at this point, it's a happy selection dilemma to have. So that's obviously the first story. Andy Carroll's been fantastic for us. And then the second story here, getting defensive. The Hammers have taken a much different approach to picking up points this season than last. They're still sitting pretty in third with 17 points from 8 games. However, they've scored just 10 while shipping an impressive 4, showing a drastic reduction from last year's 1.6 goals per game and 1.16 goals against per game. While the Irons have struggled to find the back of the net, they do continue to find a way to pick up maximum points. And the question for you guys is, what must the Hammers do to improve their scoring rate this season? Is it the formation? Is it the tactics? the player selection, what do you think? Be sure to let me know in the comments. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and let me know what you think of the headlines and what you thought of the results in this episode. And we'll hope to see you back in episode 39. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.